Howdy, and welcome to Anti-Earth Union Radio, a podcast about Gundam and one other show. I am your host, Gwen, and my pronouns are she and her.
I am your co-host, Noelle, and my pronouns are she and they.
This is the one other show portion, which for the foreseeable future is Legend of the Galactic Heroes. This covers episodes 1 and 2 of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which span the length of the Battle of Astarte/Astarte. Just a quick note before we get into it, there are two different versions of the subtitles when you go looking for the show. One has the cultural names in the show generally unadulterated, and the other transliterates the Japanese transliteration. For
Big Wade
instance,
Val's energy.
yeah, for instance, the Battle of Astarte is, in our version of the show, the Battle of Astarte. Yang Wen-li is Yang Wen-li. Grillparzer becomes Grillpalzer. I don't think one version is better than the other, and if you're wondering which you should have, if you're watching this on a legitimate streaming service, you should be seeing the former. To note also, this is not a series concerning the reboot anime or any of the films. We are strictly sticking to Legend of the Galactic Heroes, the OVA series released over the course of nearly 8 years, from 1988 to 1996. There was a 720p HD redraw a while back, and you'll probably see that if you watch it on a streaming service as well. There are fan-made versions that recut the less corrupted original recordings alongside the HD redraw to replace just the parts that are most poorly preserved, and that is the one that will be on screen. I will not give instructions for how to acquire it. You can guess.
All right. Who are we gonna die in a standoff with the FCC?
Is it? Oh yeah. Oh, is it the FCC? Let me think. It might be the FCC. Yeah. Anyway, uh, no, it'd be the FBI because it's just a regular crime. Remember? It's not like a
Man, that's
special
so
crime.
lame though. That's so
It's like
lame
a.
though.
It's
I
like
don't
a
want to get
regular.
Wacode. I want to get new Wacode.
If you want the FCC to send like armed people, you just need to like transmit without a license. You know, especially if it's some real
Break
fucking
ham radio
suspicious.
etiquette.
If it's something real fucking suspicious, you know? If you want to engineer FCC Waco, that would be how to do it. Now, getting into the overview, episode 1 in the Eternal Night features features a 2-to-1 confrontation between the forces of the evil Galactic Empire and our brave Rebel Alliance. A 2-to-1 confrontation
Come
between the
on.
forces of the regular Galactic Empire and the Free Planets Alliance.
Star Wars wasn't an original plot, and you know it.
Yeah, I'm aware, but still.
It's like complaining about like a hero saves princess story. Like, yeah, there's stuff to complain about, but actually that was a terrible example. But you know what I mean. It's like
Yeah.
complaining that it's not original enough. That's like
It's not a complaint, it's just an observation. The numerically superior FPA forces are split between 3 fleets, and the numerically inferior Imperial forces are unified in one fleet larger than any of the individual Alliance fleets. Predictably, if you've ever played Kriegspiel or a derivative, the Imperial forces attack each fleet individually before they can combine. A young Alliance officer, Yang Wen-li, attempts to warn his commanders, along with his friend Jean-Robert Lapp, in another of the fleets, to no avail. In the Imperial camp, the young fleet admiral Reinhard von Lohengram is planning to do exactly what Yang expects him to do, and has a devil of a time convincing his subordinates the Alliance fleet is stupid enough to fall for it, but eventually pulls rank and gets them to go along with his plan. While episode 2 covers the Battle of Astarte proper, with very pretty maps and a huge amount of ships. Lapp's fleet is annihilated when they attempt to rescue another fleet that had already itself been annihilated, and Yang's commander is wounded, leaving Yang in charge. He swiftly takes decisive action to preserve his forces and prevent Imperial organization by performing a masterstroke of maneuver warfare and forcing Reinhardt's fleet to accept a stalemate. In the Imperial camp, Reinhardt is frustrated but doesn't get greedy and sends a polite letter to Commodore Yang telling him, "We're cool, thanks for the fun afternoon," and withdraws with his honor intact. We
It
also
was a
find
very,
out.
it was a very strongly polite letter.
Oh, yeah. Uh, where was I? We also find out how his fleet being in a disadvantageous position was a result of, what else? Scheming nobles. Yang meets Lap's
My favorite.
fiance at his grave to close out. Oh, also somewhere in there, the Fezani are scheming, but we'll get to them.
Oh, I don't know how to talk about Fazan, honestly.
Don't worry
But
about it.
but oh, I love our scheming religious weirdos. You know, Japan likes the scheming, like the scheming religious sort of like interloper thing a little bit too much, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we
first,
will
we
get
got
into that later.
but we
Okay.
first
Oh,
we had to talk about that opening.
the opening? No. No, we can't talk about the opening.
No, just how like the vibe of it, like you're just like walking in, you sit down, and like the opera starts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like it knows, like, oh, we are doing opera, we are doing drama,
Yes.
and people are going
Opening.
to die in
Oh,
the
yeah.
most spectacular and melodramatic ways possible.
It really is. It gets to the heart of Space Prussian. It really just it is the Space Prussian story. And the openings in this show are entirely focused on the Imperial side, while the endings are focused on the Alliance side.
And the like when it's the Imperial side, they're always just like so glorious, glorious combat, glorious death about everything. You can kind of see inside like what it is they want out of all of this, which is just the kind of just dramatic bitches with guns.
Yeah. That's nobility. Getting into the play-by-play. This is an old anime, so episodes start with the opening, a formula that isn't broken much before the 90s. The first opening is Skies of Love. It's an English language love song. It was as was popular in the era among the primary audience of this military sci-fi soap opera, Housewives. And
Like
then
this is a perfect show to like while you're like I don't know, like ironing your drunkard husband's like work shirts. Like it gives you the little cues for when to pay attention, and then like the inane conversation where like if you don't give a shit, you can just go back to ironing.
yeah, yeah. And then there's it comes in on a kind of like Percy Shelley ass speech, like the Ozymandias guy wrote that poem. Here lies Ozymandias, King of Kings.
Look
I have
upon
it
my works, ye mighty, and
and
despair.
despair. Yes. Nothing beside remains. Yes.
That was the funniest shit when I was in middle school. I thought that was the funniest story ever.
Yeah. But this show begins with a speech that feels like it's the same vibes. Um, in one small part of space, the war continues. In war, there can only be one victor. Space is an uninhabited wilderness, and bloody wounds disappear with time. Maybe the multitude of stars in the sky remember those wounds. Maybe it is fated that even those stars will vanish one day. Man's presence in the midst of these stars is all that remains of a forgotten battle. At this time, in the middle of the universe, on an insignificant island, a galaxy was at war. The combatants are the Galactic Empire and the Free Planets Alliance. Also, trading with both sides is the small city-state of Fezan, a feudal territory. Remaining neutral in the war, it watches both sides in battle. The war has already been going on for 150 50 years.
Okay. First off, I do not want to see 2 year fucking there are 2 year systems in the show. And it
Oh
makes me
yeah.
so angry to see it because it just makes me want someone to just lose. Like all of their soldiers drop down dead, their politicians drop down dead, like Death Note style. I want them gone. I want them gone because I only want to think about one set of years.
Yes. Yeah,
I would be driven insane living here.
I feel much the same way. Too many calendars. 2 calendars is too many.
It upsets you on a like a oh the other side must die kind of way, which I guess is what they're fighting over.
It is. Well, they're not fighting over calendars, more over like systems of government and autonomy and such. But
It's kind of like how like having both imperial measurements and metric pisses everyone off to some in some weird extent, and it like becomes like a part of people's personalities whether or not they support it or not for some fucking reason.
yeah, yeah,
I bet the same thing happens here where some people are like militantly refuse to like acknowledge the other one,
yeah.
which I'm pretty sure is a plot point later.
It is. Well, it's a plot point currently. They don't call. I don't think it comes up in these 2 episodes, but the Imperials do not call and have not called the Free Planets Alliance like a nation. They have called them at varying times rabble, rebels, insurgents. I think at some point, um, they're like a breakaway civilization. We're not going to get into the history right now. There is in-universe history, but it gets
Like
revealed in time.
documentaries, like we get to watch your documentaries like from start to finish.
Yes, there's a whole fucking episode of a documentary series we get to watch.
But also like the show itself feels like it's strongly implied to be a documentary.
Well, less a documentary and more a like dramatization. It feels very
Yeah,
much like a dramatization of like historical events. This is the story of uh yeah, this is the story of the like late stage of a very long war.
it's got that like sort of like it does have that problem where it feels like one of those like Gone with the Wind glorifying the like empire at times. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it can get like that.
like the beauty of nobility shit that you get from like the Rose of Versailles or other stuff. Where like if you want to deal with the nobles and you don't want to just portray them as like pure evil, you got to include that.
Yeah, you have to because it's how the nobles feel.
They're so dramatic.
They really are.
They're just theater kids. We're ruled by theater kids, it appears.
Yeah, well, we don't really have real nobles, thank God. We just have people who sort of act like them.
And they want to claw the power to that level. You just want to bring it back because it's comforting, even though like what they have now works better.
Yeah, yeah. So after our little self-righteous speech from the author, necessary and all politically motivated military science fiction, as this most definitely is. Um, we get a solid 20 seconds of like real cool spaceship content. There's a fun docking sequence. Um, it's cool. And then the camera reveals the flagship Brunhild, the Imperial Fleet's flagship Brunhild.
Speaking of dramatic, like what is this Rococo bullshit? What is this Rococo bullshit doing in space? This is
It does.
bullshit.
It looks very ostentatious, very it,
Like speaking of Versailles,
yeah, it's Versailles in space and it's also like covered in guns.
I
That is what a high admiral's that is what a high admiral's like flagship is. Have you
it's
never
just I mean it's just like it just gets back to the like it's the same thing in Star Wars. Evil people always got the fucking stupid imposing ships because they're like my little Greeblies will scare people into submission, I
They
guess.
have fucking decorative columns. They have decorative columns they have decorative columns in their bridges. On their bridge. They have decorative columns. that
And
seem to
they,
be
and
made out of real stone because more than once someone is killed by one when the ship gets hit.
I can't do spoilers, but you can just say that.
What? It's not a spoiler. That's like
That's like
there's a lot of
engineering
fucking
critique.
imperial ships.
This is just critique of their engineering.
It's very bad.
I don't think they're
it
regulated at all.
it
I think
looks ah it's like there's like a crash couch, but there's just these pillars and they don't seem to like it doesn't seem like anything is keeping them there cuz they do just fall over. It doesn't happen in these episodes. It's not going to
important
happen
people
for a
die from
long time.
those.
We have important
Important.
people.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Anyway.
just.
Oh,
I mean, it's just. Also, what are they wearing? What are they wearing? Like, what the fuck is that? Is that like made of silver or something? Like, do they just? I mean, there'd be so much silver just flying out of their ass in the future like this if they were like galactic empires in space.
well, yeah. There's a lot of actually. I don't know how much silver there is floating around up there.
More than on here. More than down
Yeah.
here.
Well, almost certainly.
You know, they have the goal. They have whole like, what is it? Like a half, 2/3 of a galaxy. Actually, how big is the empire?
It's the Empire. I think it's like big, big. It's not a whole galaxy though. They just call themselves that. I think. Uh,
I mean, let me
Up a
check. Let me
map real
check.
quick. Because I'm pretty sure it's nowhere near the whole fucking galaxy. Yeah, it's not. It's like two arms. Yeah, it's just or it's one side of the galaxy and it's not yeah, it's like two arms of the galaxy that are like connected.
Ah, okay,
Like
okay.
alliance space is almost completely closed off. We'll get to that later, but like there it's the parable of the two islands. It's literally that's what it is. It's the parable of the two islands.
In every terrible mecha show, like the like awful like war's bad, and then they just kind of circle jerking about it. Those mecha shows from the 2010s. Well, they're all basically just based on this. I mean, it's just Xeon versus Federation. It's just everything. It's just side A versus side B.
Yeah, well, it's an unbeatable formula. At least until like the 2010s. It sticks around for a long time as like the big thing. Now, High Admiral Reinhard von Lohengram and his very particular friend Siegfried von
Turkey
Kircheis,
eyes. Turkey
Kircheis,
eyes.
discuss the tactical situation they find themselves in, noting they're outnumbered and effectively surrounded, but not cut off from withdrawal yet. Reinhard, however, isn't even thinking about withdrawal. Instead, he's annoyed that his admirals want to talk to him about their impending doom at the hands of the Alliance fleets. When some of his subordinates are like, "Bro, we can't win," he pulls rank and threatens to punish them, then dismisses them. And
He
the
is kind of like a
admirals are
Darth
like,
Vader, actually. He
he
really
really
is.
is.
But he's not particularly strong or imposing. He's just this like just like scrawny little blonde kid
Yeah,
with like a imperious attitude, and that's the only thing going for him.
it is.
He's just a
Yeah.
giga mind. He's just mega mind.
Yeah, and then his subordinates do some like catty backroom talk about him. They're like he's a fucking idiot. He doesn't know anything. A little fun. But most of them don't participate. And but Reinhardt is fairly convinced that when he wins, their attitude will change completely. They'll all love him. As soon as he wins, they'll all love him. They'll be like, "You're such a genius. I'm sorry
He's
I
like
ever doubted you."
he's like one of those like cringe middle schoolers, but like he's making his like promises real.
Yeah, there's literally there's like millions of people under his command who live and die at his decisions.
And it goes to show like what happens when someone with that much power, with enough power to like get in a position like this, gets those kind of delusions.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
Though, are they really delusions for his in his case at all?
probably not. Now, we get a cut. We get Reinhardt's sister, Kaiser's concubine, Anna Rose von Grunwald, as Secretary of State Lichtenlade. Tells the Kaiser about the dim chances of victory in this distant battle. Kaiser Friedrich IV notes that Anna Rose's brother is the commander of the subjugation fleet, and Anna Rose has a flashback to telling Kirchheis to watch over her brother. This fades into a shot of Kirchheis, implying he was remembering the same thing at that moment. Reinhardt seems confident, but is worried about the presence of young Wen-li, who has garnered a bit of a reputation as a tactical genius in the opposing forces. And then we get introduced to young Wen-li,
See,
this hero of El Facil, as his CO refuses to follow his eminently sensible advice.
the Alpha Seal thing is kind of infuriating because it's just like, okay, there's history there. What's going on there? Like, they never really fully follow up on that.
You can find out what happened if you go to like the wiki. It's in the it's I think it's like it's the there's like a full chronology of events.
Like, where's the
Some of it
content though?
doesn't.
Is it in the show?
I don't think any of it. I think there's some flashbacks, but we don't get in the same way that we get like a high level overview. Like if I'm remembering correctly, El Facil was like a ground action, and we just don't see a lot of like we'll see like tactics for people storming buildings and like hallways and stuff, but they never show us the like overview of like ground combat, which is what El Facil was, if I'm remembering correctly. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I watched this, but
I it's just the most annoying thing about this show. It just kind of starts arbitrarily and then just ends arbitrarily. It's just like,
no, it doesn't. It starts at the meeting of Yang Wen-li and Reinhard von Lohengrin.
yeah, but I would have liked to see more than that. You want more than just this.
That's how
It's
history feels.
I know, I hate it. I hate that they're like bringing this into a fucking cartoon.
Yeah, well, it works though, you know.
I want to watch something to get away from that uncertainty.
Yeah. So like uh so like Yang is trying to get his CO to like listen to him. And Yang is like, we're gonna lose if we do what you say. And his commander's like, why should we worry about losing? We outnumber them. It's that simple. Very fun.
It's how did these people get to this high of a position? How simplistic has this war really been?
Well, we get the obligatory we get the obligatory like the main character under officer complains with his quirky friend about the universal stupidity of those in command. And that's pretty fun. That's Dusty Attenborough. That's Dusty Attenborough.
I
Universal stupidity of commanding officers.
I also have to appreciate that characters are being introduced with like their names written on the screen. Like it's like, oh, this guy's important. This guy's important. Look, his name, his name. Also, you might have forgotten the name because there's so many fucking characters. There are a lot of people in history.
Some of them don't. Some of the subtitle versions, they don't have the names on the screen,
What?
and you just have to fucking cope.
But they're there in like Japanese, right?
Uh, I think so. They're not covering anything. Like let's see here. Taking a quick look. I actually haven't. Yeah, it's not covering anything. They literally just you're just supposed to remember their names.
Oh, that sucks. Honestly, I support having the subtitles give their names every single time you see them, except for like the most important characters.
It doesn't do it every time. It does it when they haven't been in an episode in like a little while. And it's a little inconsistent at the beginning because this is, I believe, fan subs. I don't believe any official subtitle does this. I could be wrong though.
But I
Could be
think this
wrong.
really helps people like who don't really want to like spend time remembering everyone. Like really helps them like stay like in the know, even if they've forgotten most of what's happened. Because this show comes out over 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they would have been encouraged to buy into a whole like little multimedia ecosystem of like reference books and shit. So,
Yeah, but like when you make shows like that, there's like a lot of jumps in the timeline because of the way people treat the like gaps between the like media coming out, right?
yeah.
Like back when things were like fully weekly, like you get sort of expectations for each week, rather than like getting it all at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it helps like you just develop the characters in your head, even though they're not actually that there's not that much going on.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the trick becomes making sure that people get the right idea with as their first impression, which is why some characters can feel a little predictable at times. It's because they're supposed it's because they're supposed to be.
Keep your eye on this guy.
Yep.
Blinking arrow, blinking arrow.
Not covering Utena yet. Um
We might never. This show's long.
so they joke around, Yang and Attenborough, they joke around, but Yang is genuinely worried about the presence of Reinhard von Lohegram, who has garnered a bit of a reputation as a tactical genius in the opposing forces. And this episode, I think like the whole show really, this whole show is filled with like a lot of, it's like scene cut, scene cut, scene cut, scene cut, and it moves like all over the place. Which is how I mean that's also that's how the books can feel, but it's interesting.
Apparently, there's a lot more like side characters and like weird little like runs running around the story in like the books.
Yeah, there is. It's pretty fun.
It's like little skits, but it's like and now a ground action during the retreat.
I mean, they don't have like an announcer. Uh,
Like that's
well,
apparently the vibe. I haven't read it, so
yeah, and I only listened to the Japanese language audiobook, which I cannot understand Japanese. I'm getting there though. Um, so we get introduced immediately after this little conversation to Iserlohn, a fortress filled with the scheming nobles who tried to get Reinhard humiliated by sending him into a dangerous position. They seem to be chafing under the influence of this rising star, who only got his opportunity because the Kaiser is holding his sister in more or less sexual slavery.
we love nobility here at
We
Anti
love
Earth Union
nobility.
Radio.
Oh, yeah. Anti Earth Union Radio, big fan of nobility. We love the aristocracy.
We would never
The
do anything to
aristocracy.
hurt their position in society.
Yes, the aristocracy, proud sponsor of Anti Earth Union Radio. Um, so Vice Admirals Oscar von Royenthal and Wolfgang Mittermeier um,
It,
commiserate inside. What?
it feels like every scene they're in is like crafted so like someone can make yaoi of this.
It
Honestly,
really
with these
does.
two, the show is like made by a specific kind of person,
It's made for a specific kind of person. It's
and
made
there is
for a
so
lot
much
of
of that
kinds of
stuff
person.
apparently.
Yeah, well, it's kind of interesting because this is one of the like prime examples of the like premeditated dual audience thing. Like I joked earlier that like the primary audience is housewives. That's not quite true. There's two primary audiences, and the show targets both of them. And that's like housewives and like anyone who's into military sci-fi, which is for obvious cultural reasons going to skew male. So there's a lot of stuff in here that's like that's like uh that's like oh it's got the soap opera, it's got all that stuff, but it's also got like it has to keep things really simple when it comes to the interpersonal drama.
Explosions, explosions. I want to see explosions. I want to see I want to see that ship explode again and again. It doesn't look very different. Any particular scene looks like any other scene of like a ship exploding, but there's ship explosions.
Every time you get desensitized to the knowledge that to like seeing a ship explode, I want you to remember that there are at least like 600 people, like on the smallest military ships that aren't like shuttles. There are like 600 people. On like the battleships, there's like 2,400
I,
or like more. There's like a lot of people. I don't have the numbers right off the dome.
yeah, and
Um,
they've been fighting for
but
so long that they're just standing there chilling, like people are dying.
yeah, they're just used to it. Like your whole culture now is just like, all right, time to go join the fucking navy.
They're having like Warhammer. They're having Warhammer happen to them,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's only
pretty
the
fun.
two of them. So like I feel like it's easy to work something out.
You would think, right? But when one side is like, we don't acknowledge the existence of the other side, that's a problem. Um,
Don't get all
now,
Hegelian on me, okay?
impasse, violence. Vice Admirals Oscar von Royenthal and Wolfgang Mittermeier commiserate inside of one of Iserlohn's many cafeterias about how they're unable to help their ally Lowengram from where they are. Meanwhile, a five-head, Captain Paul von Oberstein, sips his liquor and listens in. I guess security culture doesn't exist in the future because because in addition to this like weird scheming happening just where a guy can hear it, uh uh Imperial soldiers and civilians in Fortress Iserlohn are watching a live feed of the battle on every public screen.
I just have to. Oberstein is speaking of Megamind.
Yeah, speaking of Megamind.
He's like the Megamind who never gets recognized as Megamind.
Yes. And then we see a bald man looking at the battle map with a scheming smile on his face. He chuckles mysteriously. And
Oh,
then
fucking Lex Bezos over here.
Lex Bezos. And then it just cuts away from him. We don't get to find out this guy's deal for a while. I love that. That's really
He's
fun.
chuckles. He's chuckles.
I think I ignored a cut. I ignored one of the cuts to him in the script earlier because it was just there was nothing to say. Nothing happened. It was just like, oh, look at this guy, and then it moved on. That's what most cuts to him
Doesn't he
are.
look rich and asshole-ish?
Yeah, wow, doesn't this guy look like a piece of shit?
You think he's profiteering off of this?
Then the battle proper begins. The announcement is made over the intercom of the Second Fleet's flagship. Contrary to expectations, the Imperial forces will engage the Fourth Fleet.
What do you
Um,
mean? You're a war. You're a war. Of course they engage you sometimes.
yeah,
What's
we
the
gotta
fucking point?
congratulate them. Who are they
What are they gonna
inviting to the
like?
wedding?
Are they gonna like do the like opposing dancer soldiers and like the victories are like purely in like spiritual like yeah I totally danced better than they did.
Oh, Yang CO is like, that's impossible. And Yang says, I would have done the same thing. And then Attenborough gives him a verbal pat on the shoulder and insults their superior officers. Again, insulting your superior officer is necessary in military sci-fi. It's how you get branded as like smart in military sci-fi. That's the way that it's done. Wow, my commander's a fucking
Colonels,
idiot.
stupid. Your generals, too old. Please clap.
Oh yeah. Reinhard orders a frontal assault, and with his superior numbers, makes short, nasty work of the Fourth Fleet. Attenborough reads through Yang's plan and thinks aloud, but Yang tells him that plan is toast already. There's still another way to save at least some of the 40,000 Alliance ships they started this engagement with. Yang makes sure to say this in a way where his CO can hear it. On a Fourth Fleet flagship, Leonidas, the commander yells out a series of futile orders to deploy as his fleet is already being eviscerated by the Imperial forces.
Kind of very ironic when you think about the name.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. We see some solid shots of large groups of people dying in explosions on spaceships, which is something of a common visual theme in the show.
People be dying. That's the show.
People
People be dying.
people
Oh,
die.
explosion. Evaporating
Yeah.
bunch of people. People will be dying.
Oh yeah. Um, for sure, for sure. Uh,
What a mess, though.
oh yeah. Elsewhere in the Alliance fleet group, no one knows what's going on and everyone is confused. Second Fleet launches its fighters and gets into formation. We see some fighter pilots quipping at each other as they run to their stations, and Second Fleet's commander orders that they go to Fourth Fleet's defense. Yang warns him the battle is already over and Fourth Fleet has likely been annihilated, and if not, it will be by the time they arrive to help. He recommends joining with the Sixth Fleet and forming up to have superior numbers and better positioning against the deployed Imperial fleet to force a withdrawal. His commanding officer is incensed at the idea of abandoning the Fourth Fleet, and Yang replies with, "This is a vast universe. How many hours do you think it'll take to get to them?" And his CO is like, "But we can't abandon our allies." To which Yang replies, "If we don't, we'll all end up victims of the enemy's plan to crush us individually."
How many times have I seen this fucking argument in like a film or something? It's like how many times? How many times are they just gonna keep doing this plot? Can we get through this already?
But then the argument gets into the substance, the real substance of his commanding officer's objections. The vice admiral in charge of the Fourth Fleet is one of his friends, and one he respects and doesn't want to accept can be beaten. He pulls rank, and Yank laconically replies, "It seems friendship is important." He
I
continues
mean,
briefly, but has already given up.
I mean, friendship is very important. That's what they're fighting for, allegedly, maybe.
Friendship.
And just how many times are we going to see this plot? Like, obviously, we all know what's about to happen. Our main character has to become important somehow because military sci-fi, megamind,
Yeah.
stupid commander. Only that's we're gonna. He's going to seize power at some point. Lowengram is also going to get more important. That has to be what happens. But we're like stuck in this stage where it's obvious what's gonna happen, but we have to just like wait for it to happen. It's really annoying.
Yeah, well, we see Yang staring out a window and lamenting, along with Attenborough, at the stupidity of superior officers once again, as well as trying to formulate some sort of plan to present to his superiors once the situation is even worse. Yang decides to phone a friend. So we see Lieutenant Commander Jean-Robert Lapp arguing to his superior the same plan, but in mirror, on the Sixth Fleet. He gets shut down immediately and doesn't argue. And then he apologizes to his commanding officer for being correct.
I apologize for like begging for my life, dude. Sorry.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Apologizing for being right is awesome. That's peak. That's
I'm
so
sorry. I
good.
fear for my life at your stupidity. Sorry.
Meanwhile, Reinhard is ordering his underlings to not murder all the wounded Alliance ships out there, but not out of kindness. It's because he thinks the most efficient use of their strength is preparing for the next battle. Thanks to the success of his plan, the admirals are less pissy with him, so he was a little right about that. And Reinhard orders his fleet to reorganize and advance on the Sixth Fleet. But Kierkeis vetoes him and reminds him he can allow his soldiers to rest for a few hours, splitting them into two 1.5 hour shifts.
This is interesting. They're just like taking like they're doing like new age like work management, but like for like running a ship.
Yes. And that's where we get into the sleep pods. The sleep pod.
1.5 hours
Yeah.
just to get inside a chamber where you're de-stressed, you're detoxified for like 1.5 hours.
Yeah, we see two like nobody Imperials walk into the sleep pods, and we get some atmospheric world building as they talk. Um, some automated and enclosed stretchers whiz by, and one soldier remarks to the other about how hard it is to get a deadly injury, because medical technology is so good. And he shows off his robot arm.
And
The
then
other
he's like,
mention, hmm?
and then he's like, when we're sleeping, we die sometimes, and then you don't wake up. Who knows what happens when you're asleep?
Yeah. The other mentions that a hit on a ship creates a very large number of wounded, and then they wonder aloud if they'll survive or not. And one of them complains about how while the sleep pods remove hours and hours worth of fatigue, they don't allow you to dream. And the other one says, there's no need to dream during a war. At any rate, you'd only have nightmares.
You get to dream about blowing up in explosions, and if it's true, it just stops.
Awesome. Then we cut to Reinhardt's fleet making a direct assault on 6th Fleet, whose commander refuses to believe the attack is anything more than a diversion meant to cause panic. Lap argues with him in that "please don't get me killed, sir" tone of voice.
Begging for his life. Like, literally, just like the polite way underlings beg for their fucking lives from commanders. Please don't let me die. Please don't just let me die.
You can't be doing this. This can't be real. Um, yeah, and tells the 4th Fleet tells him the 4th Fleet has almost certainly been destroyed. At which point his commander says, "Don't say unpleasant things."
The truth is unpleasant.
Yes, yeah, Laugh says the truth is very unpleasant.
It's like, how do these
Uh,
people get this high up in the military in a like constant state of war?
then we
I
see a
won't
bunch
retreat
of
like a coward, though.
then we see a bunch of ships blow up, including the 6th Fleet flagship.
And the
Uh,
character is dead.
yep,
And
yep.
then he does like reverse dead flagging where like it's like now that he's dying, you see that he has a family.
Yeah, yeah. You see he dies while being sad about his fiance, and also Yang.
And also a hologram of her fucking face falls into the flames. Like, come on. You can't be this cheap about this. Come on.
You can be this cheap about it, actually. Oh,
War bad.
war bad. Turns out war bad.
But what if war good? The Empire
no.
asks.
Uh, then Yang cajoles his dead CO into action as a result of his did I say dead? I meant dazed. If I said dead, his dazed commanding officer. He's getting him into action. He's like, "What the fuck, man? You you gotta get on with it." Oh, and the Imperials remain certain of their inevitable victory. But Lowengram reiterates that he's worried a little about this Yang guy, and that's the end of the episode.
And then we get the ending.
We get the ending, which we will talk about at some point.
Okay, but
But
like, look, I just like the. It's just melancholy. It's just melancholy. The Empire is all about like grandiose, like purpose. The Republic just gets these like sad fucking like love songs about loss.
yeah, it's the Alliance, the Free Planets
Never let go of
Alliance.
your dreams.
It's not the Republic. The Free Planets Alliance. It's not called
And
the
you see a
Republic.
scroll of people like just flashing by. Like, who are they? Find out next time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, don't find out next time. Find out. I think by like episode 10, they're all introduced. But um, I will say the next episode previews of this show don't spoil as much as some other shows of the era, which is pretty nice. Some early Gundam shows will
I
literally
mean,
just tell you about important character death in the next episode previews.
Zeta Gundam stands out.
Zeta Gundam really stands out. Oh, yeah, it'll
Your
literally
Discord
just be like
kitten will die.
name of character dies. It's
Discord
awesome.
kitten dies.
That's no, that's in Ideon.
That's all
Um,
of them. All of them.
it is, yeah. So the next episode, actually, we're gonna take a little bit of a break for now. This is a good pace, but we do not
Oh,
need to keep going.
oh, okay. I guess we're gonna do the rest tomorrow.
Yes.
All right. Did you stop recording?
No. And we're back. for definitely not the second time, and definitely after only one day. And I definitely remembered. I definitely remembered to put on my affected down home accent.
Okay, now you're just overplaying it.
Yeah, I am.
It's
I
your
am.
real accent. You don't have to overplay it for like a gag.
I think it's generally assumed that anyone who talks like this is either faking it or really stupid.
You're both. No, you're not.
So why play into the faking it part? At least then people won't think I'm stupid. And also, I was raised by someone from California as well as someone from the Salem Plateau.
Don't dox yourself.
What? It's a big area. So I learned how
With
to talk
not that
both
many
ways.
people.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't live there anymore, so
It's like one in like not even it's not even close to a million. It's like one in like what 50,000? I forget.
hey, there's oh now I can't go on population statistics. I'll be really doxing myself if I tell you how many people my home county has in it.
Like two?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Sure, it's not fucking
Oh, you.
Wyoming.
Oh, sorry,
We're
sorry,
in a
sorry. I thought you
civilized
said
state.
I thought you said town, not county.
Oh yeah. Well, it's unincorporated.
I'm way off. It'll probably be like a few 10,000 people.
Getting into the opening.
You were cut off. You were cut off before the. Oh well. Oh, getting on. I couldn't hear you.
What?
You're like cutting. You cut in and out there. You just happened again.
My microphone was turned down.
The beginning of that sentence was also out of. I couldn't hear it, but I heard the rest of it. Just like it was like, duh.
My microphone.
Okay.
My. How many times did I say ma?
Oh,
No, seriously. Did you hear the beginning?
ma.
Okay. Poker face. Anyway.
Shut the fuck up.
Um now the second episode, the Battle of Astarte. We're going to talk about the opening now cuz it focuses on the Imperial side. So we see some characters that have already been introduced. Of course, there's Anna Rose staring up at the stars while onto a backdrop of stars at the beginning. That's neat. Um,
She gets such a central role in this opening, and it's like it's not really spoilers. Say she's not really there much. Most women aren't really there much in this show.
yeah. Well, that's how it is.
Military sci-fi authors do better. It's been a long time since this was written.
Let's see here. Yes, okay. We get a fun faux 3D camera transition that spins around her and shows that she's facing Reinhard. And he has his default expression, an annoyed scowl. He just looks kind of bothered all the time.
He's just kind of pissed that he's not number one all the time.
Yeah. And standing at his back is Kierkeis, watching his back, looking vaguely worried, as always. Well, he either looks worried or like he's about to jump for joy. It's his two expressions. Um, and then they spin around and regress to children. I guess emphasizing the bond they have. Uh,
No. Whom's doesn't turn into a child when doing the microwave plate with your like bestie.
doing the microwave plate.
What?
Yeah.
They're spinning at the same speed, the exact same speed.
Well, yeah, it's symmetry.
No,
Um,
no, 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 no. Like as a microwave spins your like bowl.
yeah, no, I got that the first time. That's why I thought it was funny. Now, they, showcase the special bond that they have. And then they go back to being adults.
It's
Um,
This
Hmm?
entire scene is honestly just yaoi bait. They're doing this already.
Yep.
It starts early.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
For
audience is
sure.
established by this point. They're banking on them to buy a whole lot of VHS tapes.
And then we get our all right, jump to 52 seconds and watch the supporting characters scroll by and try to name them all.
Ah, shit. I don't have timestamps. Give me a second. 52. 52?
Yeah. All right, first guy, who is it?
Alright, give me a second. I need 3 seconds. Alright. Wolf.
That's Wolfie.
Rheinmetall. Oberstein. Mustache Man. Not
Wait,
funny. Shit, who is
Ryan
that?
Mattal? Wait, Ryan Mattal?
One of them was named Fahrenheit. And Vampire? I fuck. I don't remember their names now.
Understandable.
Again, all military sci-fi at this scale should like at this is not the biggest scale, I guess, but like at this scale at least, they need their names on screen every single time.
Yeah, well, I don't know about every time, but at least now and again. Now, uh, and just as we hear the voice of Michiru Monday. Uh, Michiru Monday Akiyoshi Mariano, credited as Akiyoshi Michiru, says when she says "skies of love," we see Reinhard with his billowing fleet admiral's cape, with Kierkegaard's right behind him, and then a pan down to show what they're doing it all for. His sister, and
And
she
I
looks
have to
vaguely sad.
he's like voguing for the camera.
Oh yeah,
That man is a diva.
he is. He is. He's got a flair for the dramatic, that's for sure. That's the polite way to put it.
And we and his little friend just like has to like he has to like Kirky Eyes has to like just stand behind him, like work out, pat out the wrinkles in his cape as he like walks by and like sneers at like people he finds like lesser than him.
Yeah.
But not like maliciously. He doesn't do it maliciously. He just is obviously better than you.
Yep. And yeah. Yeah. Anna Rose kind of looks like Reinhard, like the family resemblance is pretty good, but she also only has like the one default expression. And she's either that or surprised.
I,
So like Reinhard is always either he always either looks slightly pissed or a little surprised. And
no. There's one more. There's one
there's
more.
oh, that's true. There is one more. Yeah,
Sad and melancholy,
yeah,
like a prairie novel protagonist.
yeah. Nana Rose, she has the sad and melancholy as her
My husband died
default.
on the cattle drive.
Yeah, yeah, well, more along the lines of, I never got to have a normal life because the emperor thought I was hot when I was 14, so now I'm his concubine. Because that's her
Ah,
situation.
14. Like, come on. Like, what the fuck, man?
I don't know what to say. That's aristocracy. That's what they do. It's how they act.
I mean, could they not like behave like a Crusader Kings player for like half a second?
Yeah, well, in real
Betrothed
life,
to your 12-year-old noble wife.
yeah, well,
Ugh.
in real life, the game rules don't prevent you from getting married before 16. You have to have laws for that, and they seem to not. Well, actually, she's not even married. She's a concubine. That's fun. Doesn't even get to be fucking Kaiserin.
Madame
She's,
du Barry ass.
yeah, Dubari. Anyway,
Nobody.
As
We'll get to
usual.
that show eventually.
Oh, we
Hopefully.
certainly will when we do our Yuri sub-series of all of the big Yuri in chronological order. Um,
There's so much kind of like just mid slop in there.
oh, for sure. Now, as usual, we get a narrator introduction that does better than I can in summarizing the situation thus far. Space year 796, Imperial year 487. The
Someone
two
fucking capitulate already.
Two calendars, too many calendars. The two primary forces within the galaxy, the Autocratic Empire and the Free Planets Alliance, which is based on democracy, continue their decades-long battle. Another player is the autonomous state Fezan, which watches the war from afar.
This is just like Star Wars.
Just like Star Wars. Now, during this narration, the camera fades into a galactic map showing us the corridor between Alliance and Imperial space, which mirrors that of Iserlon, the Fezan corridor. It zooms in on it, then reveals the planet Fezan, and then Landisher's palace slash office complex. And then we see a really cool map. Those of you
Well,
listening in the
Stellaris
background,
reference.
yeah, those of you listening in the background, pop on over to this tab and look at that map. That is vintage science fiction. Oh my God. That's the battle map that Rubinsky's looking at. Um,
Oh, Rubinsky. Just he only
oh,
has that one face ever. It's like he had too much Botox and now his face is like frozen
oh,
into like this like smug fucking
we'll
glow.
get there. We'll get there. We'll get there in very soon.
He
We
doesn't
pan
blink.
Yeah, we pan away to see it's an ultra wide floor to ceiling screen as an announcer's voice states the tactical situation, which is that the Fourth Fleet has been annihilated, the Sixth Fleet has been attacked, and the Imperials are almost certainly going to attack the Second Fleet, meaning the Sixth Fleet is largely destroyed. And then Adrian fucking Rubinsky, with his glassy eyes and annoying little fucking smirk, states the obvious. Ah, the Imperial fleet's going to defeat the smaller Alliance fleets one by one. Oh, that blonde brat, can he pull it off? Then after that asshole's inane commentary, we get a quick establishing cut of Reinhardt's flagship, then of the man himself as he orders his ships to prepare for a close engagement. We get a bunch of sick-ass shots of fighters launching before seeing the ships around Brunhild moving in formation, firing from behind as the flagship leads them into combat, which
I
is
just
cool.
I just gotta mention like Rubinsky.
Oh yeah, if you want to
When I
shit talk
first saw
Rubinsky, keep it
No,
up.
I'm just thinking about the first time I watched this show, and I just saw this like random fucking Lex Luthor asshole. Like I'm just gonna keep calling him that. Like he is like Jeff Bezos to me.
He
But
is
like
he's very Bezos coded.
we're sorry, Great Overlord, Amazon.
Hey, no,
Please do not
it's
shock us.
YouTube.
Our ankle bracelets hurt a lot.
No, it's YouTube. You don't have to worry about that. This will never be an Audible podcast. That's for fucking sure.
I I kind of don't want to be, honestly.
They fuck up the Audible podcast sometimes. They forget to remove the ads in the ad-free version. That shit's fucking annoying.
Yeah, but yeah, like back to the topic. I remember
Yes,
thinking like,
sorry.
oh my god, is this man the like announcer character? But just like the guy in anime who goes, oh, and he uses the Hadoken, and then they just gasped every time the main characters do something. That's what I imagine he would be, and that kind of is what he is most of the time.
Yeah, he's a largely reactive force. Um,
None of his reactions make sense ever. Like, just nothing he says makes particular
don't worry,
sense other than
don't
stating the
worry about
obvious
it.
sometimes.
It'll all make sense when he's a real character later. Right now, he's just He's just a guy so the people who read the books can point at the screen with their friends and go, "Whoa, I recognize that guy. That's Adrian Rubinsky." Oh. Anyway, we see some alliance ships blow up, which is fun. Watching ships blow up is pretty fun. It's one of the singular joys of this show.
The moment
Uh,
as thousands of lives are snuffed out in an instant, consumed in hellish fire. Sick.
sick. Yeah, the the yawning abyss that swallows motherfucker. The yawning abyss that swallows sailors whole. Proud sponsor of Anti-Earth Union Radio.
Cthulhu, we
Uh,
love you.
uh, so Yang is he's like it's too late. It's too late. Uh, and a dying alliance ship collides with theirs. It's just after. Oh, I missed something. His commanding officer orders the Second Fleet to return fire, which confirms for us that the Sixth Fleet has been largely destroyed. Um,
I mean, he gives one fucking order, and it's the most obvious order, and he has no fucking thoughts before this other than shut the fuck up, Yang.
well, yeah, you don't need to think harder than that. Telling your clearly sensible subordinate to shut the fuck up. Why the hell do militaries even have adjutants? Oh, type situation. Anyway, so Yang is like that. No, it's too late for us to do any good. And the dying alliance ship collides with theirs, revealing in its damage that the bridge is not exposed, but instead kept in a hardened area, and they use view screens instead of windows. Eat
Take
your
notes,
heart out,
Gundam.
Star Wars. Oh yeah, fucking Gundam too. So
Love walking
stupid.
my dog when a piece of space debris smashes through the window, and now I'm being sucked into the abyss.
It's a very bad. I don't understand the impulse of like, but we have to have real windows. It's the future. Just have more cameras.
UV like LEDs or something.
Yeah. Anyway, the music in this part feels vaguely like something an army orchestra would turn out for some kind of parade, which makes the destruction feel kind of distant. Which is fun.
Oh, and seizure warning.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few of those.
Honestly,
If
every
you're
show we talk about is a seizure warning.
Yeah, if you have a hard time with flashing lights, not
Don't
I
watch
would
anything we talk
recommend
about.
no, you could still watch it. But if you have like the real serious like photosensitive epilepsy, then some of these old shows, they really love flashing lights as an effect.
Porygon flashing lights sometimes. It's bad.
Oh yeah. And
Sometimes it's multicolored and like
oh, don't even get me started on the Rose of Versailles, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Oh, anyway, Yang wakes up bleeding like mad from a head wound. All head wounds bleed like that, serious or not. There's a lot of blood moving around up there. Your brain's got to stay cool. And the
your brain
intercom,
your brain burns so much power just for you to sit there and doom scroll.
just for you to listen to two fucking idiots talk about a show that you're probably not watching.
You're
Um,
probably not going to watch because I mean, statistically, most people aren't going to watch the things that they listen to a podcast about, but enough of you will, hopefully.
I actually don't know if most people don't. I kind of assumed that everyone did until I started thinking about the logistics of convincing people to watch a 110 episode OVA series, um, of which several like whole episodes of video are basically lost media because the only surviving copy is really bad quality.
Yeah, this is something you can sew now while like folding laundry for like the 7 billionth time.
Yeah. Anyway. Yang discovers his commanding officer is gravely injured, and then he starts giving orders through the intercom system immediately. He asks aloud to the bridge if any uninjured officers are left, only to find out only Attenborough, a lower-ranked officer, remains. So Yang tries to weasel his way out of the responsibility, but is told by his injured commanding officer that he is in command. Good old seniority battlefield promotion, an essential component in military fiction. Not actually a
Just militaries
battlefield
in general,
promotion,
really.
actually.
Anywhere where you have like this like rigid chain of command and people are dying, you're just not gonna. You just don't want to ask questions about who's in charge.
Yeah. I wrote promotion, but it's not a promotion. He is still a Commodore, but he is now in charge of the whole fleet.
Yeah, because
Uh,
no lieutenant wants to suddenly become a general like instantly.
oh yeah, no, even thinking about that must really suck. You got to think about how many times cuz that
What happened?
I'm trying to remember this. I might have this right. Like my great grandpa was enlisted in the Marines before World War II, and then after he was an officer. And like the numbers there, oh,
I mean,
not like a high
you
ranking
get to
officer, but
don't
he
they get
was like
like
a
a better
lieutenant.
pension?
But you start the war as a sergeant, you end as a lieutenant, you're doing pretty good.
Do they get a better like pension afterwards if you're like an
I
officer?
I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I know you get paid more, and I know your family gets paid more if you die, if I remember correctly.
That's kind of
Um,
bullshit, TBH.
yeah, well, it might not be true. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I think so because that's how you want officers to be motivated. Um, anyway, uh, Attenborough is like, oh, you're being appraised. And Yang is like, that appears to be the case, before immediately entering Admiral mode, which is something he seems to be able to do instantaneously when the need arises.
I
Oh,
mean, whomst does not think about the exact moment they're gonna suddenly become admiral.
yeah. Uh, he opens a channel to the whole fleet and says, I am Commodore Yang, the staff officer next in line for command. When the flagship Patroclus, finally got the name, was hit, the commander was seriously wounded. According to the commander's orders, I am taking command of the fleet. Worry not, we will not lose. Then he takes his finger off the button and he turns to Attenborough and he's like, ain't I talking out of my ass? That's awesome.
I this is very expedited though. It's 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 a little bit too all right. On with the plot.
Yeah, it is, but that's the episode. So much happens in the first like 9 minutes of this episode.
I mean,
Um,
are officers like this? Like they just go, "Oh, it's time to do my training. This is what I was trained to
yeah.
do. Take power immediately."
Fuck, I guess this is my job. Uh, and then he gives the order, basically, keep doing your thing until further instruction, which can't be a good thing to hear when you're losing a battle.
New
Oh,
commander, figure it out.
yeah. New fleet,
That's
who
my first
dis?
order. I don't know.
Uh,
I'll tell you when I have a plan. Like,
then we get a really cool fighter battle, revealing that Alliance pilots really, really look like Alliance pilots in Star Wars. They're quipping at each other. One asks how long they'll have to keep fighting, and the other says, just one battle won't decide the war. And the first guy says, in any case, while that fortress stands, this war will never end. Uh, Now I really like this like fighting sequence. It's very fun. It's like the Imperial fighters They look really dumb. Like they look bad. They're not
I mean,
streamlined. Their cross section is way too wide.
I
Um,
mean, I think they look kind of cool, but I like those chunky, like,
yeah. Well, when
they
you're
are,
when you're,
why did they do have too many moving parts, though, but maybe it's good for maneuverability?
I think it is good for maneuverability. But this is a very TIE fighter versus X-Wing type situation here because the Imperial fighters seem to rely on like numbers and tactics, like tactics involving superior numbers. Um,
And better maneuverability, I guess, versus
yeah, and
the
better.
fast ships.
Yeah, whereas like alliance fighters seem to be they're anti-ship weapons. They're not just to like fuck with fighters. They're not just out there to like shoot at the little ships. Um, they are there to get in close and fuck up a like capital ship. And they can survive the journey. Like
But
it's
basically,
but the Imperial fighters are well, I mean they all blow up if they get hit once, but uh
I also have to mention, like, thanks to Star Wars, all fighter battles are just Hellcat versus Zero, all of them.
yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? Uh yeah. And then we get introduced to Iserlohn's whole deal. Uh taking from the narrator here. The Galactic Empire's impregnable fortress, wedged between the Free Planets Alliance and the Galactic Empire in a huge zone where navigation is impossible. The only possible route for navigation is the Iserlohn Corridor. As a result, all attempts to navigate this corridor have failed. Um,
And
paraphrase.
I gotta say, that's no moon.
That's no moon. Paraphrasing now, Iserlohn was built 3 decades ago to establish control and make sure that the Alliance could never break through the only attack path they have into core Imperial territory. Um, it is 60 kilometers wide, has an exterior of liquid metal, and a mass of 60 billion tons. And it has a stupid powerful anti-fleet cannon called Thor's Hammer.
And
And we
yes, it
get
is
to,
in a big circle. It's in a smaller
yeah,
circle on the sphere that shoots a beam.
yes. We get to see a beautiful animation of it priming and firing to demonstrate annihilating an entire fleet of Alliance ships in some battle or another, which almost makes up for the fact that it's a Death Star ripoff. Basically,
So blatantly. It's so blatant.
yeah,
Was the book
ba-
written before, or is it literally just the test star, but it
I'm
can't,
pretty
like,
sure
crack
the
planets?
the books are from the 80s. I'm pretty sure.
Ah, shit. It would have been a
Anyway,
second Death Star by then, I think.
large spherical object in space just makes sense. There's a reason it happens naturally. Um, now, basically, as long as the Empire holds Iserlohn, the Alliance cannot partake in any offensive operations outside its own borders. So the war is fought exclusively inside the Iserlohn corridor and largely on the Alliance side, especially ever since the fortress was built.
So now
Uh,
they have like some sort of like moon-sized cannon for just sitting in the middle of space and blocking everything.
yes. Yeah. And then we get a list of battles. The first, second, and third battles of Tiamat, the battle in the sky above planet Legmitz, and the fourth battle of Tiamat, and now the battle of Astarte. Um, all of those were supposed to be decisive battles. I think. I knew the details when I wrote the script, but I didn't put them in. Oopsies. Anyway, uh, his narration is followed by Reinhard shit-talking the Alliance fleet after Kierkeis calmly assesses that the Alliance is certain to lose but refuses to admit defeat. And he calls them poor losers. Um,
Nobles are
and
so they really have this idea of like nobility, like being like these weird fucking freaks about war.
yeah, well, to them, glory on the battlefield is real. And that's crazy. That's like a ridiculous thing to think. I can't take anyone seriously who thinks that, like, you know,
Shredding human lives that willy nilly is like just fun.
yeah. Anyway, uh, he, uh, Reinhard orders his fleet to take a spindle formation, a spearhead basically, to ram through the center. I gotta say he's really bouncing ideas off of Kierkeis apparently for fun. But I'm reading some serious sexual tension there, so
That face he makes at the end of that scene, though, that
oh
smug
yeah,
little like what is that? It's so creepy. He looks like such a little creep in that little scene.
he does. Um anyway, Yang recognizes what Reinhardt is trying to do immediately. And I just gotta say, imagine you're like a member of the bridge crew on the Patroclus, and you hear your newly minted Commodore ad hoc admiral of two broken fleets and one disorganized fleet say, "Oh, they're going to break through the center. How do I deal with that?" Thinking out loud, scratching his head, pacing a little. That's really funny.
I mean,
Oh.
they're just accepting that they've died already. Like they're probably already like gone through the motions.
Yeah, I gotta wonder if joining the Alliance Navy is like getting conscripted into the Soviet Army, where they like would hold a funeral for you, like before you leave. Because I feel like they should. It would save them a lot of time waiting for them to die, only to have a funeral without a body. You
Clone
have the
vats
person
where you
there.
clone the clone vats where you clone like someone's like when you clone someone just so like you can like have a body to like bring home.
What? All right. Well, we're gonna
No,
move
no,
on from
like
that.
to bring home
Well,
like you can have like a body to bury, like clone bodies for like
I
all
feel
the
like
soldiers lost in space.
if you could clone the body, why don't you just, why don't you just have you just send a doppelganger back if you could do that? I'm pretty
I
sure that's a plot to something.
Star Wars?
Is it?
Well, just the clone army in general. That's what they do.
Oh no, I mean like you keep the real person and you send the doppelganger back. I feel like I think I
That's a
read that in a
worthless
book.
endeavor.
Yeah,
Like on a
well,
mass scale, like you just do clone troopers.
yeah. Anyway, Reinhard orders a charge, right? And Rear Admiral Adalbert von Fahrenheit on his flagship encourages his men by shouting about complete victory or some shit. And also Merkatz is there, and the show sees fit to show us these guys just go like Merkatz. I think just grunts. He goes, "Huh?"
He just
Oh,
kind of like pulls out like a meerkat, just pops out. Beep.
yeah, meerkats. Um, Now, Yang has another thinking aloud moment where he says, well, I asked for this. The problem is, will the enemy move as I expect them to? Attenborough, confused, is like, if they don't move, and Yang is like, I'll have to outthink them to deceive them, yeah? And it's gotta be like a surreal experience being like one of the like, like again, like six bridge crew left alive. Hearing that conversation. Hey, we're fucked, aren't we? Nah, maybe we're not.
Perhaps.
Anyway, yeah. We get a really fun battle sequence. Patroclus's intercom guy informs the crew they've made contact with Wallenstein's forces, meaning their naval intelligence is pretty good. They know who is in command of the fleets that they come up against. That's neat.
I mean, it's not like they're
Uh,
doing anything else.
yeah, all they can do is spy on each other. Um, Now, the Patroclus is actually in the center, being one of the ships retreating to attempt one of the oldest tricks in the book, the classic envelopment. Retreat
The
only the
old
center. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Retreat only the center as your enemy pushes through the center, forming a wall around them and cutting off their retreat by closing your ranks behind them once they've well entered your formation. It's a classic
the
trick.
it's ye old Mongolian rodeo.
It is. It is the oldest trick in the book in any kind of like mass formation maneuver battle tactics. It's very simple.
How did he
Uh,
fall for that? Like, how
uh,
are they just like completely worthless? Like the commanders of this era, like they can't even do that.
I think it's just a very enticing target. Uh, a weakened center is a very enticing target. And in this case, it's not even that the center was weakened; it's just the Yang could see what they were doing. Um, it's a classic trick, seems to work. Attenborough seems convinced, but Yang displays a core character trait in that he is never assured of victory. He's like, I don't think this is gonna work. And then Reinhard notices that the Alliance fleet is better organized than it should be. And then we get a classic Masaka moment from Kierkeis. But it's too late to be stopped preemptively. Um,
Jimata. He says it so waifishly.
he does. Yang orders a full advance from the flanks of the spearhead formation towards the Imperial retreat and resupply route, and successfully seizes the initiative Reinhardt has held this entire battle, forcing the Imperial fleet to react to the Alliance fleet's actions. Reinhardt immediately assumes that the guy doing this is in fact Yang Wen-li. And we get a sick fade directly to Yang smiling like he's smelling roses in a fucking garden. It's very nice. Uh, the like look of pleasant surprise every time something he does works. It's very good. And then he puts his
He just kind of it's like he's like sniffing a cup of wine, yeah, a glass of wine.
oh, yeah, and then he puts his game face on and says, "All right, let's set the enemy's tail on fire." Um, the bantering pilots make another appearance, talking about how unusual it is for them to be winning. Um,
What the fuck are
what?
they doing? What the fuck have they been doing?
Uh,
Are they like I just gotta ask, like, there's no way everyone in charge of this war has been this incompetent about it. Can they? Can they be that incompetent that it's
I
just been
think they
this
are.
bad the whole time? And like this is the best thing that's happened in like forever.
I think they actually are that incompetent.
How did that happen?
Hmm.
Like have they just been throwing competent generals into Iserlorn to die? Like is that what happens? They just keep sending them off on suicide missions?
Well, we'll get to that. I don't actually remember if that's what happens. The beginning of the episode is something I watched so long ago and so or beginning of the episode. Beginning of the show is the first time I watched it was so long ago. I hardly remember it. Um, now, uh, one of the one of the bantering pilots. I have their names somewhere in the script. Says, "Huh, a little effort and our fleet can win." And the other one goes, "That's unusual, isn't it?" I love the bantering pilots. I love this shit. I love that they show up for like 15 seconds. They do some fun maneuvers. They kill a guy, and then they quip at each other, and then it cuts away. That's really fun.
I like janitors.
Yeah. Anyway, uh, Yang, back on the Patroclus, Yang and Attenborough are also bantering, but more along the lines of, well, it certainly can't be this easy. And sure enough, on the Brunhild, Reinhard tells Kierkeis to cut the banter, because he's in no mood to take suggestions, and orders his fleet, which is facing away from the Alliance fleet, to advance in their present formation and circle clockwise to the Alliance fleet's rear. Oh,
Jason, just I chase you, you chase me.
yeah. Uh, but Rear Admiral Airlock orders his forces to turn around and attack the Alliance formation against orders to predictable results. I'm fairly certain that it is only his ship and not the whole not his whole like contingent. I think it is just his vessel.
He
And it
turns
gets
around and
blows up.
immediately gets smoked.
Yeah. Yeah, presents a very wide cross section, and then gets like annihilated by a piece of Alliance artillery. Who would have thought?
Literally mid-turn.
God. Well, yeah, at the point where he was presenting the biggest possible target. Why do you think their ships are so narrow? It's because they're always shooting at each other. If your ship is narrow, it's harder to hit, as long as you're facing the enemy. So then the rule becomes to never turn in front of the enemy, or at least to get a good distance first. Reinhard feels no loss from such a stupid death, but it is the first time a high-ranked officer has died in Reinhard's fleet.
Clearing the way.
Be clearing the way. Yang sees the Imperial maneuvers and is troubled once again by the presence of Reinhard. The story then yada yada yadas its way over a few hours of battle, until suddenly the whole battle was in a ring formation, with both fleets stretched into lines, circling each other, constantly trying to outflank the other while presenting as little to the other side as possible. This is awesome.
They just form an Ouroboros. Like literally
Yeah,
they literally say it's the fucking snakes
yeah,
eating each other.
yeah. Yang calmly explains to a bewildered Attenborough what forcing a stalemate means in concrete terms. Make your enemy's victory too high a price, even if it means doing the same to yourself. He says, in short, it looks like two snakes swallowing each other's tails. Eventually, they'll eat each other up. Oh, and Reinhard, now playing the part of the sore loser himself, laments on the Brunhild that the battle has turned into a farce and a battle of attrition. Um, and the bantering pilots show up again and give us a grunt's eye view of things. And here we have the names. Olivier Poplin, the yappy one, goes, "Hey, both sides can't help being destroyed." And Ivan Konev, the quiet one, replies, "To fall behind is to be destroyed." And Poplin goes, "I don't want to be the only one left," in like a worried tone of voice that like it sounds like genuine.
This
Like
is
he
what
just
gets me.
realized
This is out of everything that's happened, this is what gets me.
yeah. Uh Yang then correctly deduces that Reinhard will order a retreat, and when Attenborough asks if they'll pursue, he's like, "No, this is enough. No point in further casualties." And then we see the actual point of the Reinhard Kierkeis back and forth. Back on the Brunhild, Kierkeis says something Reinhard knows is true, but can't say first to protect his pride. In this case, it's that retreating is necessary, and hoping for a real victory at this point is meaningless.
Sorry, can you redo that part? I sneezed.
You sneezed. Okay.
Sorry,
Yang
okay,
then.
okay, but first. Okay, I just have to also point out, I fucking lose it every time I see the fucking look on Reinhardt's face, when he finally like comprehends the situation. What an awkward fucking situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just literally. I think he's more upset that he's more upset about his honor than like anything else. It's really funny, honestly.
Yeah.
I can't
Anyway.
believe I got by the oldest trick in the book, and now I'm doing the dumbest fucking thing ever.
Yeah. So,
While
uh,
Kiriki stands there and pretends that he doesn't look like.
yeah. So, so, uh, so we see the actual point of the Reinhard Kierkeis back and forth back on the Brunhild. Kierkeis says something Reinhard knows is true but can't say first to protect his pride. In this case, it's that retreating is necessary, and hoping for a real victory at this point is meaningless. And then Reinhard agrees and puts a positive spin on it. This is a dynamic that will repeat every time he has to do something he doesn't want to do.
And you will know that this is about to happen because Kiriki looks like he's like very constipated.
Yeah. Oh.
He's got that face where he's just like holding it in.
Reinhard proceeds to issue a message to young Wen-li. I pay my respects to the noble commander's brave battle. Health until the day we fight again. Uh, Yang receives this message while a nurse tends to his head wound and mocks calling this whole affair a brave battle before dismissing the matter and ordering recovery efforts for all the lost soldiers to begin. Uh, his last comment at the end of the battle really got to me, where he talks about he's mourning over the loss of his friend Jean Robert Lopp, and he says what a waste, but in like a heavier tone than like it's the whole situation. Like what a waste. The narrator then gives us some more context, making it more and more clear it's a kind of historical dramatization style. He focuses on things you expect to see in a history exam about the Battle of Astarte. After the encounter, called the Battle of Astarte, this is a quote, Imperial fleet survivors numbered 2,450,000. The Alliance, 4,060,000. However, compared to the Imperial fleet's 150,000 casualties, the Alliance lost 10 times that number, 1,500,000.
How
That's
do
a
you
lot
even
of
fuck
people.
that up? How do you fuck up that bad? How are these people that incompetent? They fall for what if we actually attack them, but separately. Like it's like marching into a bog, into like a defensive position. It's like why the fuck did you do that? Why would you march through like a mountain pass where they can like leverage their archers or that shit?
Come on, guys, we're supposed to be smarter than this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is followed by a view of Heinessen, the Alliance capital world, from space. Then the formula quickly becoming familiar of a city, then building, then a person inside the building. In this case, it's a woman, Jessica Edwards. And if you look closely right at the beginning of the scene, there's a framed photo of Jean Robert Lapp in his uniform over the piano she's playing at. Uh,
Whoops.
yeah. And then a piece of vintage sci-fi, in this case a phone system with touch controls that's also for news bulletins, though it's a landline and the news bulletins are basically like radio alerts.
It's got a video
Uh,
call. It's got FaceTime.
yeah, yeah. Uh, uh, it's a National Defense Committee meeting announcement, meaning an announcement made by the National Defense Committee of the legislature. The Battle of Astarte ended in a great victory for our Alliance forces. At this, Jessica is relieved, but then, predictably, the bullet goes on to announce that the 4th and 6th fleets received considerable damage. Jessica gets up uh, and has the touchscreen pull up the number pad where she hits 0, which in a real phone system traditionally dialed the operator, but I suppose in this retro future it dials a number associated with the most recent broadcast. So that's neat. Anyway, uh,
A
she
nice little
first,
hot dial. A nice little hot dial to find out if your loved ones are alive.
yeah, she first hears her fiance jumped up 2 ranks to captain, and then hears the reason as the woman on the other end of the video phone dispassionately informs her that Jean Robert Lapp died heroically in battle and received a double rank promotion. Uh, then she hangs up and has a completely normal crying over a piano session.
And I just have to note that like whatever whatever poor schlub that poor girl who has to do this job, her she's dead inside. She's dead inside. And she's
Oh yeah.
utterly unsurprised when she gets like hung on. Like she was just like any moment now. And yep, there it is.
Yep.
Fuck
Well,
me for
it's
telling them, I guess. Moving on. They're the ones in pain.
yeah. Hey, that's at least it's actually a soldier. You know what the US Army used to do? This is fucking awesome. They would send a Western Union telegram.
With a little song.
Some like no, not the singing telegrams. Some like 11-year-old child would show up at your door and hand you a note and be like, and read from the note sometimes if you ask them to. So like an 11-year-old would be like, "It is my deepest regret to inform you that your son died in battle."
Hey, come on. What you got why no the government's just cheaping out here. You should get like a little like you should get a little ditty from some song that comes from like what's it called again? I'm like blanking here. What's that like really popular style of like theater where like they did the blackface?
Minstrel.
Minstrel, yeah. Do a little minstrel ditty. To a song that you have probably heard, but you do not know the lyrics to, and you do not want to know the lyrics to, like the ice cream song.
Don't look it up. Uh,
Your loved one's dead. We are very, very sorry.
it is our deepest regret to inform you that your son has died terribly in battle.
Little Einsteins.
Okay. After that, we get some more Anna Rose content as she usually is, staring up morosely at the sky when Baroness Magdalena von Westphale arrives with a drink and the news that Reinhard was victorious in battle and will return in a week, and that he will likely be promoted to a higher rank, which as a fleet admiral mostly means he'll be allowed to have an even bigger fleet and even more admirals under his
Cool
command.
fleet.
What?
The Empire is really embodies the like spirit of wow, cool fleet.
Yeah.
War
Yeah.
bad.
So Reinhard makes a stop at Iserlohn, and we get to see some Royenthal Mittermeier banter before we're treated to young Wen-li's arrival at a military graveyard. There's a lot of jumping around in this episode. Most of the cuts, there's not a lot to talk about. They're very short. I'm just keeping it to listen the overview because if I went into detail on all of them, the script would go on forever. Because it's like oh, here's a new fucking set. Here's a whole new set, a whole fucking background that exists for these 3 seconds, where a guy looks at another guy.
Riveting.
Yeah, riveting. It's your standard, easing people into the ensemble cast of characters situation. But so then uh, we're treated to Yang Wen Li's arrival at a military graveyard to pay respects to Lap's memory along with Attenborough. And their conversation is something I want to highlight. Attenborough says, "The military has announced this battle was a great victory." And Yang says, "Yes, our alliance forces weren't actually beaten. Maybe someone dies too, you know?" graves without anyone's remains in them. But a grave is a grave. And then they see Jessica at the grave, and they stop short. And then Yang tries to say something, but all that comes out is, "What can I say?" Uh, and Jessica
Whimpering like
says,
a whipped dog.
"Yep." And Jessica says, "Please don't say anything. Jean died in battle. I don't hold you responsible. But war is your job, isn't it?" And then she just leaves. And then Yang says, "Yes, it's true. Our job is war." And he and Attenborough look at the grave like it's their own.
That man is a fucking. That man is like a basset hound or something. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Yang has like a hangdog face at all times.
Gets
Yang
verbally
dog
abused. I
face.
deserve it.
Yes. And then we get a certified Fezan moment where Lex Luthor impersonator and Polish namehaver Rubinsky is having a meeting with Boltic, who's also a guy, about how best to prolong the war and prevent either side from winning so they can profit off the stalemate for longer. Uh, oh,
We love war profiteering here at Anti-Earth Union Radio. Brought to you by Anaheim Electronics.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. Your friendly neighborhood lunar Zaibatsu. Oh.
You want arms? We got arms. Give me money.
Yeah, well, it's actually you want a communicator, you want a radio. Anaheim makes everything. They're like Samsung, but on the moon.
You want a Death Star?
Yeah.
Brackets
Anyway,
Gundam.
the narrator closes us out as always with the date. Space year 796, Imperial year 487. So ended the Battle of Astarte. How will future historians view this incident? Um, we get a fade out on a big pillar being taken over in a desert.
Ozymandias Pillar returns again.
Possibly a reference to the poem Ozymandias. It's pretty common imagery both before and after that was written. But it's a good poem. You should look it up if you've never read it. The next episode preview tells us that Jessica will denounce Defense Secretary Trunick while he's making a speech about the importance of sacrificing for your country at a memorial.
And then you realize these people are French.
No, they're not all French.
They got the banners. The banners are literally blue, white, red.
Yeah, they do have the tricolor. It's true.
But you could also say it's America.
Yeah, well, it's almost like those are really common colors representing like I don't know, democracy or whatever from the like, revolution era. Now let's see here. Still in the preview here, a fascist veterans militia targets her as a result, or possibly on Trunick's orders.
I don't think I don't think they are veterans. Actually, I think they're just called the Patriarch Night Corps. They never expound on it. I'm pretty sure they're just like random street thugs.
I assume they're veterans because
I
there
think
would
they're
be
just
so
doughboys.
many. Think about how long this war has been going on.
I feel like
they're
just
like
died.
3 generations deep. You know.
I feel like it's one of those situations where people die before the age of 30 from something stupid that throws you into the vacuum, and your kids do the same before they after they have kids. Reproduction is success.
Yeah. Anyway, that is it. Unless you have something you want to add.
I mean, the Proud Boy Ku Klux Klan brown shirt motherfuckers with the fucking Freddy Krueger masks.
Yeah,
they have like
militias.
They have like this shitty like red like cowl to like I guess like simulate like chainmail and a mask.
Yeah, they're supposed to look like knights.
These people are always such dorks, and I love that the show like continues like they look scary, but they're also like they're obviously huge dorks.
Yeah, they're massive dweebs. Fascists are huge dweebs. Above all else.
Grand Dragons,
Yeah.
Mishima.
Anyway, that is it for this episode. Join us next time for a one episode because I didn't realize that Advent of the Red Comet had defined arcs. Episode 4 of Advent of the Red Comet. Goodbye, Artesia. Another page turns in the history of the galaxy.
Mata ichi page.